Retomamos por aquí. Los chicos que se están acomodando, por aquí también hay sillitas adelante. Andrés, Sebas, Estefa. Listo. Retomamos. En este segundo momento vamos a tener nuestra primera conferencia preparatoria para el segundo seminario de desarrollo profesional de la traducción y la interpretación y el 10º seminario internacional de desarrollo profesional de los docentes de lenguas extranjeras, que se llevará a cabo en agosto del 2025. Estos seminarios son organizados por la Escuela de Idiomas de la Universidad de Antioquia, en asocio con la Alianza Francesa, el Centro Colombo-Americano, la Universidad Católica Luis Amigó, la Universidad ESI, la Universidad Nacional C de Medellín y la Universidad Católica de Oriente, desde la que nos encontramos el día de hoy. El tema central académico girará en torno a la inteligencia artificial, y en esta ocasión nos acompaña la profesora Isabel Jiménez Gómez, con la conferencia titulada AI Tools for the English Language Classroom. Esperemos que esta charla inspire a todos los presentes y enriquezca su comprensión sobre cómo podemos llegar a integrar estas tecnologías emergentes a nuestras prácticas pedagógicas para mejorar la educación y la formación en lenguas extranjeras. Now, we will switch to English, and it is my pleasure to introduce this special guest who will be leading the next section of our event on the socialization of our pedagogical practicum. Isabel Cristina Jiménez Gómez holds a bachelor's degree in foreign languages from the University of Antioquia and a master's degree in teaching English as a foreign language from the Universidad Internacional Iberoamericana. Since 2010, she has been an integral part of the Universidad Católica de Oriente, where she has made a significant contribution at the Language Center and in the Foreign Languages degree program. Currently, Professor Jiménez serves as an adjunct teacher in the Foreign Languages degree program with a keen focus on language assessment, foreign language teaching, and the integration of information and communications technology in language education. Please join me in welcoming Professor Jiménez, who will share her valuable insights and expertise with us today, with a keen focus on language assessment, foreign language teaching, and the integration of information and communications technology in language education. Please join me in welcoming Professor Jiménez, who will share her valuable.
Well, thank you very much for this invitation. I'm so pleased to be here with you this afternoon, sharing, well, what has been my favorite topic since last year. I have to confess that I was a little bit reluctant to the use of AI, but fortunately, I got to discover the benefits and the good side of using AI in the English language classroom. So thank you very much for joining us in this talk. I would like to start by asking you if you notice something particular on the picture that you see on the screen of using AI in the English language classroom. Nothing particular. Thank you very much for joining us in this talk. Sorry? I would like to start by asking you. No, now you don't dare to say. All right. Actually, the picture that you see right there on the screen, this picture right there, was transformed, let us say, generated by the artificial intelligence as a means of making my professional profile look more professional, right? I didn't take any pictures like that. I don't have any suits like that, So it's artificial intelligence. To me, at least, this is an everyday tool that I can take advantage of to incorporate not only in my life as Isabel Jiménez, but also as a teacher, right? So this is the topic for this presentation. Is not working. Oh, thank you so much. Now, AI tools for the English language classroom. It has been around the topic, for almost a year that we started speaking about this interesting topic. But there are many, kind of worries around it. And I understand why this happens. But today, the intention of this presentation, Lau, can you help me with a pointer, please? Let me see. Right there. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the origin of the AI, like what is it about, right? Then we're going to talk about certain challenges / opportunities that we can have around this wonderful topic. Finally, we're going to get to know how to use some practical ideas on how to use AI in our language classrooms. So the first part, the origin. Well, some people might think that speaking about the use of AI, it's totally new, but not at all, right? It was around the 1950s in which we started speaking about the future of computing, right? Like how to make machines like think as humans do, right? But it was not until 1956 that we started using the term artificial intelligence. Right after, in the different decades that came along, we had different discoveries and advancements, such as in the 90s, where we had the machine learning and neural networks, which allowed actually different forms of speech recognition and also computer vision systems. So these, particularly these two, are widely used in medicine, for example, and they are great part of the advancements in the 90s for this field. Then we can move to the 2000s, and we can see that thanks to the internet and all the efforts that big companies have been making around it, such as Google and Meta, we have that the e-commerce has like gained a lot of strength. And also the search algorithms had allowed us to actually use and get to what we have as the data that we collect every day. Later on, it is that we start using artificial intelligence itself with the image and speech recognition, right? Natural language processing and self-driving vehicles that use this kind of data and the intelligence from the machines to make it possible. It is then that, I'm not sure if you were aware of this, but it was in November 2022 that we started speaking formally about the GPT, right? Brought by OpenAI, correct? So it was in November 2022 that we started using the, let us say, the term, yes, with confidence, like curiosity going on. And it is now that we have artificial intelligence almost everywhere, right? You might be thinking, but teacher or Isabel, I don't think I use AI. Yes, who thinks in this auditorium that you are not using AI? Oh, no hands up. That's a good sign. It means actually that we use them every day, right? Believe it or not, when you just ask your phones, for example, you ask Siri to unblock your cell phones, or you ask Google to look for something on the internet, we are using artificial intelligence, right? So why not using these tools that we have today for the sake of education, right? So when I mean everywhere, education is included. So we are living in a world of artificial intelligence. So why not thinking of ourselves as prepared teachers who will be like teaching or guiding students who will be in the middle, yes, of these resources. Then it is a challenge, but also an opportunity, right? Fitzpatrick, Fox, and Weisman proposed an interesting book that is called AI in the Classroom. It was published in October last year. And they tell us that opportunities are right there, yes, and we have to take them, but also challenges as not only copy-paste, right, but also the critical part of using these tools, right? So they claim that critical thinking is a skill that involves analyzing and evaluating information to form a judgment. This means that it is not only telling the AI what to do, but your responsibility is knowing what to do with the information and analyzing what you're going to do with that information. In a world where machines are processing more data than ever before, critical thinking is paramount. While machines can process data at a rapid pace, they cannot think critically, and that is our advantage so far, right? So far. They cannot think critically or creatively to arrive at new insights. This is where humans thrive, providing the necessary context and nuance to make sense of all the data. So it is our duty to be aware of what is going on, actually, with that information that we receive. Yes, because, you know, AI lies from time to time. Yes, that's a phenomenon called hallucination, right? That hallucination is based on the data that it has received. Yeah. But it happens that the AI needs a lot of training, right? And who are going to be the trainers of this AI? Yes, that is us, right? So in these opportunities or challenges, let me see what's going on right here. Yes. How? The form, the way, how to use AI in the classroom. Well, I'm sure some of you have kind of approached, yes, AI to either plan lessons or find information about a specific topic or, well, just find the definition of a concept. Yes, that's right. So there's more than that. As teachers, we are all like called to be part of this great opportunity that we have right now. And you know why? It's because sometimes we are overwhelmed with the amount of paperwork, grading, planning that we have as teachers, right? But who doesn't want to have an assistant, right? AI could be a great assistant to plan and make or do different things that we actually do in the classroom. Pedro et al., this is a report by the, I think it was the UNESCO. I'm not sure. I don't remember now. You know, nervousness, we forget things. Pedro et al. Insist that AI-enabled technologies do provide opportunities to automate certain routine and administrative tasks, such as grading and record keeping. We're going to see how we can do it. Which teachers are currently performing? I know most of you or some of you are still figuring out how teaching takes place actually in the classroom. But sometimes it's pretty overwhelming, as I mentioned before. Automating such tasks can free up teachers' time, effectively allowing teachers to devote more energy to the creative, empathetic, and inspirational aspects of their profession. Absolutely. My students who are in this auditorium know that I promote a lot the use of AI, and I try to convince them, like, not forbidden, you know, the use of AI. We have had some classes where they actually experiment with the AI, and the results have been really satisfactory, I can say, yes, they're surprised, happy, like not convinced, but then they try. So it's amazing to see how easy it is to work with the AI. So it is not just writing. Give me a paragraph about the history of English. All right. It's going to give you, it's going to give you a paragraph about the history of English language, but you could be more specific about it. Yeah. It happens that then, after all this boom of the AI and the AI-generated tools, we have some frameworks that suggest some organization of the ideas that we are going to actually ask the AI to be able to retrieve as the result, right? I have read a little bit because, well, actually, there's a lot of information right now about the different frameworks, about the proposals or the steps in which we can actually train the AI. And I found it to be quite reliable and easy to follow, most than anything else. So the first step stands for prompting. Prompting. That's a very common word nowadays, no? Right. Before it was like, prompt? What is that? We have no idea what prompt is. But now it's like something quite common that we can use quite often, right? You need a prompt to give that, to the AI, so it's gonna give you, etc. So what is a prompt? Or what does it mean to prompt it? You're going to set the scene. You're going to give it a context so the AI knows, or at least gets to know what you want from it. After that, we're going to give it a role. This is, you cannot imagine how powerful this could be, right? Giving it a role is a way to approach the question or the request that you are actually having in mind. So it's like translating this opportunity of using the AI into a specific task. After that, we're going to have, if the pointer allows me to, don't know what's happening. Oh, it says it's working. Oh, yes. Give it explicit instructions. And I think I insist a lot on this aspect when I'm with my pre-service teachers. It's like, when you design an activity, you have to be so specific, right? That it's going to be bulletproof, like everybody can do what you're telling them to. So given the explicit instructions is going to allow the AI to give you a more precise result that you are looking for. Being specific and clear about what you want the AI to do for you, right? Then we can also set a precise parameter or set precise parameters in which we can determine the word length, the tone of voice that the AI might use, the age of the audience or population that you are attempting to have the activity for, and also the register, if it is a formal or an informal activity or whatever request that you are asking for. And then it is expected that you have a successful result, or at least something very close to what you were thinking of, right? So let us see this in action. Well, I guess the most common tool that we get to know would be ChatGPT, right? But since its origin, there have been many other kinds of artificial intelligences that we have been using, experiencing, etc. ChatGPT has the advantage of popularity. It's like the one that you think of, artificial intelligence, oh, ChatGPT. So it's quite practical, actually. And its latest version is quite updated. It's not the latest or the most updated, but it's quite reliable with the information that you're requiring. So why not thinking, for example, of reading activities, right? Reading activities. What is the problem sometimes with reading? That we don't find materials that are contextualized or materials that might not be connected to the language points that we are looking for, or vocabulary that we have not explored, right? So why not having the opportunity to tailor our own readings, right? This is a prompt that I created yesterday. Yes, it's totally fresh. So it is not last week, it's not last month, it was yesterday. This was the prompt. Create a text about Anita's last vacation in San Andres, Colombia. That is the first P, right? Prompted, the context. What is the context? I need you to create a text about this specific topic, right? You are an EFL teacher who is in charge of designing an engaging reading comprehension activity for your A2 level students. These students are teenagers. What am I providing right there? Context. I'm providing it a role. Yes. You are an EFL teacher. Yes. It's different from an ESL teacher. It's different from a geography teacher, right? So you have to be very punctual about what you want from the role. What else am I given? The context, right? Who my students are. They are teenagers. They are supposed to be in an A2 level according to the Common European Framework, which makes it easier for the AI to understand at least the level of my students, right? And finally, I have write 200 words for the text. That is the parameter, a precise parameter, including details about the trip, the places Anita and her family visited, and the activities they did in that place. So far, we have a pretty clear context, right? And look, finally, the tone must match the age of the students, and the text must be written in the first person, right? So what are we expecting? A story, yes. An anecdote, a person telling about what they did on their last vacation in San Andres, Colombia, right? Let us see the result. This is what ChatGPT had for me. Hello, everyone. I want to tell you about my last vacation. That's a conventional text, right? We all know we have read texts like this, but look, my family and I went to San Andres, Colombia. It was so much fun. We stayed there for a week and did many cool things. All right, it's still standard. Nothing like different from the textbooks that we have read so far. On the first date, we visited the beautiful beaches. The sand was white and the water was so clear and blue. Oh, is San Andres like this? Yes. Well, there are beaches from beaches, you know, pretty blue beaches, not that blue beaches, right? Then if we get a little bit further, the next day, we went snorkeling at a place called Johnny Key. Oh my God. Yeah, that belongs to San Andres, right? So that information comes from the data that the AI has learned throughout time. Yes, and the training that it has received, right, is not guessing. This time it is not inventing, at least. Then we saw the famous Hoyo Soplador. Yes, who have not heard about it, right? And then we have like conventional and good parts, of what makes like a trip to these kind of places. Finally, it says, I tried fish and coconut rice for the first time, and I loved it. Oh, yeah, that's pretty Colombian, So this was the result, correct? Then, what to do with this information, right? Can I just copy and paste and take it to the classroom? You would. Yeah, you could actually just copy, paste, print out, and that's all. But there are some other tools that we can take advantage of just with this material that we have over here. So remember, just recapping a little bit with the framework, the prep. We have the prompt, yes, the frame or the context. Then we have the role. After that, we have, what was it? Let us go back. I forgot. Dun, dun, dun. Now it's not working. It's a little bit slow, sorry. Yes, explicit instructions and then precise parameters, right? That's the framework. So we have the reading, the material, right? But it's like traditionally we have taken some exercises, yes, that have been successful in the English language classroom, or at least the foreign language classroom, such as multiple choice comprehension questions. Right. We have taken true, false. We have taken fill in the gaps, right? So we can actually ask the AI to do that for us. Let us see. So now, with the same information, I ask ChatGPT to generate 10 true, false questions for the students in the same conversation, and also to provide the answers for the exercise. This was the result, some of the questions. Depending on the level of the students, it might be pretty successful or it might not work, right? In this case, being this an A2 level, right? Basic language learners, we might say that these comprehension questions could work very well for the purpose of designing a simple class activity for a reading, yes? So we would have many other things, not only the true false. I can ask the AI to give me a list of the most remarkable or the most common words included in the text that it generated, right? I can also ask the AI to use only irregular verbs in the construction of this text, etc. So the ideas are there. You just have to take advantage of all these ideas that we have on our hands. We gotta be patient, just a little. All right, so the text, right? But it happens that life is less complicated nowadays, thanks to these tools. I'm gonna ask the audience right here, who has not used so far quizzes in their lessons or in their classes? Quizzes. It's not the quizzes, like the plural of quiz, no, the tool quizzes. All right, it's pretty familiar. All right. Did you know, guys, that actually you can use quizzes with AI? It's not like manually having each of the questions with the options, with the time, etc. This is another opportunity that you can have with the tool. That's the name of the tool. So let us pay just some attention to what I did yesterday, recording my screen. You go to quizzes, you copy if you want, yes. Then you create a quiz, generate from text, paste the text, generate the questions. Just wait for some seconds for the AI to generate the questions. And here you have 5 questions, multiple choice questions about the text that I just put as the input of the activity that I want to. I can modify the time if I want to give my students just 20 seconds or 10 seconds for them to guess, or I can ask the AI, well, actually, the quiz is the tool to have a different format, not only multiple choice, right? And there you have it. You could use it in your classes as a way of implementing formative assessment with your students to see their comprehension of the vocabulary, of the reading. You can do many other activities simply by generating a text, right? That was adapted from the AI to your classroom, right? That would be an idea, simple. As I'm telling you, it's not that this is, like the top strategy. No, there are many. There are actually many, many resources that you can find online that are ready-made, but why not, right? Thinking of contextualizing, making it more authentic, right? That sounds like my classes. Make it more authentic, make it more contextualized, right? So this was just an idea for reading. I bet you have a lot of ideas for things like this, more advanced levels, C1, C2, more complicated, longer texts that you can generate thanks to the AI, right? Let's move on now. Why not taking the same content, but this time for something not only for reading, right? We could also have something for listening. When I started teaching long time ago, no, I'm just kidding, not that time ago, just 13 years ago, one of the biggest difficulties that I encountered on this journey was finding the listening exercises that I wanted to. It's like, no, I want that conversation that has this, or I want these two people speaking about this. But it was quite complicated, right? You had to use whatever you had access to, right? And there are wonderful and amazing resources online that you can actually use for downloading, creating your quizzes, ready-made quizzes for listening. But why not creating your own listening exercises, right? Right here, I have the tool Murf AI. It's one of the generators, AI tools that we have. This is not the only one. There are others. We can have also Natural Reader. The only disadvantage that these tools have is that they are freemium. You know what freemium means? Kinda. You can have access to certain characteristics of it for free. When you just take them, then you have to pay for the use of the tool, right? That's the only disadvantage. But there are ways. Some people actually create many accounts. I'm not sure if that's something correct, but it works, I guess. It's not illegal. I hope so. Right. So this is what I did. I just created my account on Murf AI. And let's look what happened with the text that I just created about Anita's last vacation. You can have a specific, speed of the voice. You can paste the text. You can ask the AI to read it by sentences in paragraphs, right? You can modify it. In this specifically, you would have 10 minutes for free, yeah, to use the tool. That's one of the things. Yes. After you have spent the 10 minutes, then you have to pay for the tool. I'm not sure if we have access to.
Oh, yes. I want to tell you about my last vacation. My family and I went to San Andres, Colombia. It was so much fun. We stayed there for a week and did many cool things. On the first day, we visited the beautiful beaches. The sand was white and the water was so clear and blue. My brother and I built sandcastles.
Well, actually, yeah, you see, oh, teacher, but that sounds kind of, yeah, like a robot. It is, right? What were you expecting? A person reading this live? No, come on. Perhaps in some years, it would be this close to us. They have been experimenting with the AI, like giving like certain tones, like conversational emotions, like when your tone of voice or when you're speaking, if you're sad, if you're happy, if you're worried. Yes, these are some features that the tool may have in the reading. And well, you can also have voices, different voices. This is Hannah. This is just a little girl. You may have teenagers, you may have young adults reading for you, right? This is just, you know, the tip of the iceberg. There are many other things that we can do. For example, I couldn't prepare this because, well, you know, time is limited, but now you can also generate videos just with your face, and the AI is gonna do everything for you. You just have to give it the input with a picture of yourself, with your tone of voice, and then the AI is going to act like you, having a video, yes, about you, but it is not you, right? That's another feature that you can think of, like, yeah, impersonating, yes, other people in a classroom. So that was an idea for listening. But now it is not only reading aloud. Yes, what the AI could do. Last year, I was trying this tool, Murph AI, for conversations. But you know, it was so basic that I couldn't find a solution. But these days, I tried it again. And fortunately, now we can have this type of conversation, right? It's the same tool, Murph AI, and this was the prompt. Create a conversation between a man and a woman. They discuss options to watch a movie at the cinema. That was the prompt. Something simple. I was not expecting something sophisticated or something complicated because my prompt was quite general, right? Then this was the conversation that I got from ChatGPT. If you want, you can use other tools. There's no necessity just to use ChatGPT. We're gonna see. So I just had the conversation, copy, paste. I selected different voices, the voice from a man, the voice from a woman, and I just adapted the speed, and this is what it would sound like. Let us see if we have the audio this time too.
Hey, do you feel like going to the cinema tonight?
Now that sounds a little bit more natural, no?
Sure, sounds fun.
It doesn't this time. But well, we have some solutions, right? That we can take advantage of. As you can see, you can have different like intentions. In this case, it's like conversational, but you could have also like promotional, I think is the name. I forgot. But you can have many options with a tone of voice that actually the AI may have for a conversation. Can we download it? There are some restrictions, right? But as long as you have reliable internet connection, you would have access to the tool too, thinking of how to play it from the same space, correct? What about videos? Who does not like YouTube videos to take them to the classroom? I think everybody likes them, right? It's like music. I don't know the first person who doesn't listen to music at all. So here we have a conventional. I think this is one of my favorite videos for A1 level. A1, A2, my daily routine. I think my students know what I'm going to display. This is a conventional video I just took from YouTube. And I worked with an interesting and wonderful, let us call it like a platform, because it can have many different resources, right? It's called Twee. Twee. Yeah, it's not Twitter, it's Twee, right? So you go, you can Google it, Twee for teachers, and then you're gonna find the first option, and you're gonna have access to wonderful resources. We're gonna take a look at them. So this is the video. I just copy the link. I go to Twee. As you can see, there are many options that you can actually incorporate in your classroom thanks to the AI. One of them is watching the video and answering some questions, right? Then you paste the link. The AI is going to generate questions, open questions, ABCs, true, false, for the level of the students, and voila, you have 10 questions from the video, from the content of the video that you can use in one of your classes. If you don't want to play it, I don't know, maybe on Kahoot or Quizzes, maybe you can just copy, paste, print out, and give it to the students so they can have something with the video, right? Another idea. You know, these are just ideas. Well, what else? Oh, yes, Gemini. Some ideas for speaking. Why not? It's like, okay, sometimes I don't know what to bring to the classroom to ask my students to actually speak, right? So we can ask the AI to give us ideas. Perfect for lesson planning, right? Perfect for pre-service teachers who are learning how to plan lessons, right? Yeah, it works very well. So the prompt was, create 3 communicative activities to make a group of EFL learners speak about climate change, right? Very popular topic. Act as an experienced EFL teacher who focuses on the communicative approach, very specific role, to teach their lessons. The learners could be placed in a B1 level from the Common European Framework. I set the context, I gave it specific parameters, and this is what I had. EFL speaking activities, 1 eco interview, 2 that was like creating a brochure, and well, so many options, the ones that you have with the AI. Gemini, called before Google Bard. Yes. Let me see if I have some updates about this. Oh, yes. There are like some things about it. Eco interview. And then it's going to give you like the preparation of the task itself, and how you can actually get to formatively assess that activity, each of the activities that were listed over there. You can have, this is one of the advantages or the different aspects that we can take into account from Gemini, that it can generate different versions from the same prompt, right? You can have different versions. So it's also a good idea, yes, just to renew or have different suggestions from the same tool. I'm reaching the end. I know. Well, and this would be for our students. This is recent. I was piloting this one last week, and I discovered that this could be pretty accessible to everybody because it can actually work for our students who actually have a cell phone, yes, or have access to a cell phone. This is something from Search Labs by Google. It is a possibility for them to practice their speaking. So we have this wonderful tool We have Bernard.
Hey, it's Bernard the polar bear. In this conversation, let's talk about things we like to do. What are your hobbies?
Then you are supposed to use the 3 words that you see on the screen in your answer. And you are interacting with the AI to practice your speaking. Actually, we can do it as normal humans, or we can suggest it to our students. Does everybody have access to this? Practically, right? From the Google search bar, you can have access to the tool. Well, what to say about these tools that we have seen today or explored, that the options are there. We see more opportunities than challenges that we cannot overcome, that using AI in the EFL classroom is possible. It simply takes you like some minutes, yes, to explore. As we say in Spanish, in very Colombian Spanish, hay que cacharrear. That's the point. You have just to see how it works and see if it's suitable for you, for your classroom, if the information you get, it's suitable, yeah, for the level of your students, for the topic, etc. And well, possibilities, you have many. Oh yes, I forgot one. Yeah, I felt it. Copilot, the AI chatbot by Microsoft. Why not? This is one of my favorite ones. This is the one I use every day. Create. Oh, listen. It was because I also like to take pictures to my classrooms, but sometimes it's quite difficult to find, for example, from actions that are taking place at the moment of speaking. I would like to ask my students to talk about what people are doing on a picture, right? But they are like doing little conventional things. So I decided to explore this, and this was the result. Create a colorful classroom with just 3 tables. You know, this is not very specific, right? As I was telling you to prompt it, but look at the results. This is what I get from a colorful classroom with just three tables. I get people, I get colors, I get elements, right? The AI is trying to interpret what I'm trying to telling to it. A more realistic picture. Well, be careful. Realistic pictures do not truly look realistic. They might look a little bit scary with the fingers, with the eyes, with their smiles, but at least some of them could work. For the little ones, look at this one. A bear sleeping next to a tiger drinking soda, next to an elephant reading a book, Minecraft style. Jesus, this is what I got. Right? The elephant reading, the tiger sleeping. I know it was the bear sleeping and the tiger drinking soda, right? Pretty adapted, authentic, and perhaps close to the students' interests, needs, and preferences, which could be more engaging for our students. And well, whichever camp you belong to, one thing is clear. We can't push the genie back into the bottle, nor can we close Pandora's box once it has been opened. Hence, we need to prepare ourselves and the next generation for the new realities. So this is what we have today. We use AI every day, believe it or not. If you feel identified or not, we are using the AI. Why not using the AI to become more efficient? I don't know, could be more creative. I don't know. You are the one who is prompting the AI, correct? So invitation, take it as an opportunity, not only or exclusively as a single challenge. These are the references used today, and thank you so much for your attention this afternoon.
Okay, thanks a lot to Professor Jimenez for those great insights on today's realities and how we can use AIs as a friend and not the enemy that sometimes we think it is, right? We're gonna open a space here for some questions, like a 2-minute round of questions, if you have any of them. ¿Seguros? Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yes.
Right. Right. That's one of the advantages that we can have when we are using text to voice generated materials. And it is that there is no limit of using accents. There might be people who are not even native speakers of the language being recorded, and their voices are used to actually create material for the reading aloud or the conversations that we can have. Uh-huh. Exactly. We sometimes just look for the American accent or the British, but what about the Australian and other accents and the many varieties of English that we may have? Is there another question? All right. Seems you don't have any other questions, at least in the audience right here. Not sure, right there on YouTube? Okay, that's good. Thank you so much again for this space.
Thank you, Isa. And now we're gonna have a space, like a break.